What's going on, fellow A-Plusers? It's your boy Adam Perez. I'm back, baby, once again with a brand new episode review as we're set to get into Bakuage Sentai BoonBoomger. I believe this is episode 8, if I'm not mistaken, as this season certainly does, in fact, continue. And I gotta say, right out from the outset, I really enjoyed this week's episode, man. This team is now officially facing some difficulties that I did not expect. First off, I was not expecting Taiya to be the type to keep secrets from his team. So to kind of see that revealed and hear a little bit was pretty astonishing. There always felt like there was more to it than certainly meets the eye. But it looks like maybe some of the pieces are definitely coming together. And again, Commander Mad Rex continues to show why I've been really enjoying him since he wind up joining this series in general. I do feel like it's taken not only that action to another notch, but just the idea of his personal vendetta now with Boone Red. Again, I've mentioned this before. I'm a huge fan of like Red Rangers and the villain sort of rivalry, and they're really making this one out to be a really fun one so far, as it seems as though these two are certainly trying to top one another, if you will. So this episode had a lot, honestly. This is like the first time I can honestly say I felt like our BoonBoomgers were in danger, that they were very much in peril. And not just, if you will, from outside interference when it comes to the villains, but honestly from within also. So let's go ahead and dive into this, man. And look, I am a little bit under the weather. My son is well, I think the girlfriend was sick earlier in the week last week, and then over the weekend and like into Monday, my little boy had a really terrible runny nose for like 2, 3 days. And now I find myself kind of coming down with something also. So once it's in the family, man, it goes to everybody. And apparently I'm the last one to get it. So bear with me here as I go ahead and talk about Boom Boom. So first off, the Big Bang Grand Prix, as we come to discover from the procurer himself, Gemba, kind of lets slip a little bit of a secret that Taya hasn't really revealed to anybody, and that's the sense that the BoonBoomgers, I don't want to say were originally created, but they felt very much like they were created to become part of a gigantic sort of universal space race, which on its face sounds incredible. Like even when Mira first initially hears about it, she's like, "Wow, that sounds so cool." I honestly think so too. Like if that ends up being sort of like the season finale, like all of the BoonBoomgers cars or all the team members have to select their own cars and enter a particular race, and they have to go up against the villains' cars. I don't know if that's something like a mid, like if that's a mid-season finale, if that's an actual finale sort of level thing, but I really kind of really want to see that on the screen, to be quite frank with you. So that is pretty exciting, that there is in fact a space race out there that Taya is certainly getting ready for. And we come to find out that really the BoonBoomger vehicles and cars were really all built to initially be a part of this particular race. It seems as though they've only really been modified and had upgrades in order to go ahead and face against the alien threat here to this particular world. So, it does make me beg the question, what's kind of going on here? Clearly Ty has kept this secret in his back pocket. You got somebody like Officer Joe who takes his job very seriously in regards to protecting the innocent people and, protecting those on Earth. And he definitely signed up for doing that. So, for really being a part of a team that puts humanity first and people first and wants to save the day sort of mentality. And so, you can definitely feel these characters feeling a little bit blindsided, like, wait, this isn't quite what I certainly signed up for. Not that I think that they have a problem with being part of the race, but when you think that um, your team plan and your team motto and what you really have based your BoonBoomger team off of is protecting innocent lives and protecting Earth sort of thing. Come to find out that's like secondary or maybe even third on the list of why you wind up creating the BoonBoomgers. It definitely leaves a bad taste in people's mouths to the point to where you can really see sort of the distrust kind of building within the team a little bit, especially when it comes to like Officer Joe, along with Mira, really kind of questioning Taiya and some of his decisions. I mean, you're clearly gonna have like Ishiro along with the Procurer, um, side by side with Taiya, because they were really here since the beginning. But the two newcomers here definitely feel like they were sold maybe a little bit of a bag of lies sort of thing. And if anything, also what I enjoyed about this episode too, so you already have the distrust factor that's kind of settling in. But then on the second hand here, you really have Taya showcasing a little sense of selfishness. You know, first he sees his teammates sort of trapped inside these cages. He doesn't immediately try and get them out. He sees clearly that Commander Mad Rex wants to have a one-on-one battle, and he's more than eager to step up to the plate for that particular battle. Now look, maybe that's something that you would do as the leader of a particular team, but there is a sense of like, when he mentions the idea like, let's get cranked up, or I'm cranked up sort of thing, he really feeds off of like adrenaline. And I guess that shouldn't surprise me as somebody that clearly likes to ride race cars, you know? He definitely feels like he's a little bit of an adrenaline junkie, willing to take risks that maybe aren't necessarily necessary. He's almost lucky that he wound up getting the advantage here of Commander Mad Rex, because for a second there, I thought Commander Mad Rex was really gonna have his way with Boone Red in here, but they do a fantastic using his wheels on his back to go ahead and propel him real quick with like a final slash to take Mad Rex out, or at least put him onto his last bit of energy sort of thing. So really great fight sequence in here. I was hella impressed. There was a really cool moment where they both slash at each other and they create an explosion. And then the secondary big slash of theirs, just blows out all the fire. Just really extinguishes it. And I thought that was a really cool sequence that they wind up kind of putting together. And another incredible battle between Boone Red and Mad Rex as well. But even when you get the opportunity to see the team inside the cage, and Ishiro's like, you need to trust him. Mira's like, I just don't know if I can right now. She clearly is continuing to remember the idea that she was lied to in regards to what the BoonBoomgers were truly all about. And now she sees him kind of taking these unnecessary risks, and then also really putting his teammates at risk too. The idea that he was so determined to take out Mad Rex despite what the odds certainly might have told him, or how they were stacked against him. The fact that he literally activated a prototype vehicle that harmed his own teammates and threw them from the Zord as well, all in an attempt for him to kind of settle the score or be pumped on this adrenaline, this cranked upness, if you will. It was a really bad look, I think, for Ty in here. Um, and I think Mira and Officer Joe are definitely becoming very aware of that. And so I kind of like this tension that we now have built up. And, this very much feels like a two-parter to me, in a sense that there are still a lot of questions out there. Moments in which Taiya was supposed to stop and explain and talk, we just unfortunately didn't get in this episode. Whether he was interrupted by the communicator in the beginning in here, when Officer Joe tried to ask him like, what are you trying to hide from us, or what is your vision for the BoonBoomgers? Like, what do you want this team to certainly be? He couldn't answer that. And then when, Mira called him out towards the end for putting everybody at risk and taking these insane chances, before he can even answer, he winds up sort of collapsing in here. It definitely took a toll on him, and he was kind of battered and beaten throughout this episode also. But I dig the tension, man. They definitely have me excited when it comes to the next couple of episodes to kind of see not only how this team resolves this, but maybe even a bigger explanation as to really what Taiya envisions for this team going forward, and how the rest of his teammates are really gonna be okay with that. So I thought that was pretty eye-opening episode, and a really, really impactful storyline, I thought, for this week. Quick honorable mention goes out to the ISA agent in here, the International Space Agent. She definitely has this fixation with Bundaria, which continues to be exploited on a weekly basis in this show, man. As it looks like she came by to give him like a soundtrack, maybe, or a CD to like his favorite show or his favorite person that he clearly wanted to go ahead and see in the previous week's episode. But she's got a weird connection with this guy. She clearly likes him, or is trying to hide the fact that she's interested, or maybe she thinks the feelings that she has is weird and doesn't want anybody else to know that that she has that sort of connection with Bundario. But definitely made me laugh and chuckle a little bit. But great stuff overall, man. Great stuff overall. I still don't care about the henchman, but Commander Mad Rex himself really did it for me. And if anything too, I'm kind of glad that we got the opportunity to see our BoonBoomgers at a disadvantage. It almost feels like the past several weeks, well, maybe with the exception of last week. Last week was pretty tough too until Gemba joined the team. But it definitely feels like now our team is facing some adversity. And I absolutely love that. I hate when a team just breezes through like 40 episodes of a season without any real pushback and just getting countless sort of power ups. Whereas in here, now that we got Commander Mad Rex, he's not even the big boss, but he's more than capable of taking out their mecha, having them literally have to use every sort of combination that they had available to them vehicle wise, and they barely sort of escaped that battle. I love the really cool idea of him with his javelin, his spear, drill javelin, or whatever the case may be, that he was using it to ride almost like a freaking broomstick or something. I don't know what type of vehicle he was riding, but he definitely rode circles around Bundario, or the Robo Boomer. So yeah, I really love the mecha battle in here. I thought Mad Rex versus Boon Red was absolutely fantastic, and I love the tension and the distrust has now grown out between this team. But look, at the end of the day, these are simply my A+ opinions. I always want to know yours. What did you guys think about episode number 8 of BoonBoomger? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section box below, and feel free to leave some comments, man. We'll go ahead and continue to talk and converse about this episode throughout the rest of the week until next week. But until then, do me a big favor as always, guys. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. I'll see you, boom.